I'm going to stand up. I found my Ghostbusting t-shirt. Halloween is over. But I found my Ghostbusting t-shirt, randomly put it on and thought, hey, let's make a video. Hey, welcome. I'm an intuitive healer based in the UK. I'm Eloise. Welcome. Um, I already recorded this. I think the ghosts got in the way and they ruined it. Take two. Let's hope this one works. Ah, so, Ghostbusting. So, I am very aware of ghosts. I always have been since I was a kid. I had loads of weird interactions and didn't know how to make sense of anything. Didn't have the skills, didn't know what was going on. If you want to hear more about that, one day I'll finish my book. But entities, ghosts, whatever you want to call them, consciousness, zizzes, are all around us. They're everywhere. We just can't see them, but we can have awareness of them. We can tune into them sometimes. And they're like normal people, 99% of them are perfectly harmless. Just that 1% that like to kind of mess around with you or are a little bit mischievous. And unfortunately, those are the ones that you only see on TV. So everybody thinks all ghosts are like, really horrible things. And then they're not. They're just like people. I just like finding out about the world and seeing what's going on. Now, I had an interesting interaction this week. If you're on my mailing list, you'll have already heard about some aspects of this event, but I went to a virtual reality thing, a VR thing on Tuesday night. And I'd never really done it before. Probably not going to do it again. For many reasons. Anyway, you can ask me more. I'll send you a copy of the newsletter if you want. But as it got started, so I'm there in the goggles and the ear things, and there's so much electronics around me, and I just kind of just about to switch it on and start, and my awareness just went, how many entities are there here? A bucket load. And I was like, hmm. So that kind of distracted me for the beginning for the training. And then went into the training thing, and I'm like, right, got to do this. Kind of just like, I was aware of the entities during it, going, hmm. But they were just curious as to what on earth was going on. And because I was there, I could talk to them. They were like, what is this? It was really weird. Like a room full of 8 of us, all in these little squares, rigged up on all these electronics. It must have looked like some weird future thing. And all these entities were like, what are you doing? Anyway, it was quite funny. But I live in Brighton, and if we're at the Brighton Dome for this brilliant event. Um, and there's a lot of old buildings in Brighton. It's right next to the pavilion. There's a lot of potential for ghosts and entities, and they'd all kind of swarmed into this little room to see what on earth was going on. And I was like, "God, you lot are exhausting," It's really funny. But anyway, good job I was there. But dealt with them. Uh, but they're just curious as to what's going on. I remember I gave a talk in up north many years ago, and I was in this little town. And as most of the UK is, we've got old buildings, they're hundreds of years old. And I was giving a talk on the Friday night and then teaching all day Saturday and Sunday in this little town hall. Now, back in the day, all the townspeople would go to the town hall to find out what was going on and get information and, chat. And, would have been the hub of the community for conversation and learning and finding out what was going on. So I'm there to give a talk, and I've got maybe 25, 30 people in the room. Can't remember exactly how many there were, but there were a lot of people there. I bet there were a lot of ghosts. It was just like hundreds of entities. And I was just like, okay, you lot are just gonna drain me a lot, because that's kind of what happens. And then I didn't have as many tools as I do now to deal with them. So we made a compromise that they could stay for the talk and for the class if they wished, but they had to, give back to me somehow over the next year. But I had to, I managed to get them to compromise and shrink down to about an inch high. So these hundreds of ghosts were just like little things. Because when they were like normal size, it was just too much. And I was never going to make it through the 2 days. So, so there's an example of where, you can compromise with them. They just wanted to know what was going on. They wanted to learn. They're like us. They want to learn. They want to find out what's going on. They're very confused often because they don't know where they are. They don't seem to be alive and they don't seem to be able to interact with everyone. But they're still here. So they're not really something to fear. Like, that's the number one thing people always get about. And, when I was a kid, I was quite fearful of them. And then I kind of shut everything down a bit. But anytime I did anything that gave me the awareness of them, hell broke loose. It was like opening Pandora's box. So I'm very aware over the decades that I've been helping people to open their intuition and work with it, how to deal with that and give you the tools and things to work with it. Because if you have fear of them, that's your reality. That becomes your reality. You will attract the ones that you need to fear. If you're indifferent to them, they're just curious little creatures that will just come and hang out with you and go, "What are you doing today? What have you got all this stuff on you?" Goggles and earmuffs and it's just funny. So yeah, they're just curious. There's nothing to fear. It's just fear itself. It's like anything else. If we have a strong belief about how the world is, that is how it will be. That's basically how everything works. So if you're really scared of them, book a session. Start working on it. And most of the people that get who are aware of ghosts are kids because they're very aware. They haven't shut down all of their awareness because it hasn't been like knocked out of them yet. But they don't have any of the skills or the awareness of how to deal with it. So one side of my clinic that I get booked up for every now and again, I get a flurry of people booking in for their children because their kids are not sleeping. And 90% of the time there's an entity involved because entity is like, "Oh, hello, little person. You can have some awareness of me. Let's play. Let's have a chat." And the kid's like, "Ah," and then they're not sleeping and they're just like staying up at night. So get the parents get more sleep, the kids get sleep again. Let's sort it all out. So if you want to book a session to sort your kids' bedrooms out, more than happy to do that. I'll drop a link below if you want to book a house clearing. But if you've got something specific you want some help on, do drop me an email. I'll be more than happy to have a conversation or point you in the direction of something that could help you. So yeah, they're not to be afraid of. They're great. They're kind of fun. I like wearing comedy t-shirts, so but entities are all around us. They're really not scary things. They're just like us. They're curious people. And just because we can't see them doesn't mean they're not there. But when we have awareness of them, they can kind of bug us sometimes. And so sometimes we need to deal with them and help them move on. And that's always a valid thing to do. So anyway, if you want to talk more about ghosts, why not ask me a question? I might make another video. Ask below if you've got any specific questions and I'll get back to it at some point. But if you want to book a session and cleanse your home, got loads of tools for doing it, drop me an email or book via my website. And have a great week. Halloween is over, but the veil was thin for a while, so there may still be some stuff going on, and there's a full moon coming up. Oh, is it today as I record this? So it'll have been done by Monday when you watch this, so sorry. Anyway, have a great week. Bye.